Hello, I'm Chaplain Robert Terrell, and this is your May 15th, 2023 Monday Motivator. I hope you had an absolutely wonderful Mother's Day yesterday. Mother's Day is kind of a complicated holiday because I know for some of us we were blessed with wonderful mothers who we're truly thankful for, and then some of us had mothers that were okay. And the reality is, statistically, some of us on our team had mothers that, well, at best were not helpful at all, and at worst may have actually hurt us. It's just the case. And that's why Mother's Day is so complicated, because sometimes there are people that you want to celebrate, sometimes they're not. And sometimes there are people that, well, they're hurt by Mother's Day because they're desperately trying to be mothers and they just don't have that opportunity. It's a very complicated day. But it reminds me, truthfully, of a little bit of my phone. I know that seems weird, but if you could see the wallpaper on my phone, what you would see is a photo of my dog who passed away in September. His name was Clive. Many of you have seen him before. He was a really good boy. That didn't come on my phone. The wallpaper was not something that Motorola sent. They should know my dog, but they don't. I had to change that. It came with a default wallpaper. It was a rather boring little graphic that didn't really offend anybody. That's its whole point, was to be boring. I had to change that. It didn't come with a ringtone that was very enjoyable either. I had to change that. The defaults on the phone are what it goes back to unless somebody specifically changes that. Soon I'm going to change the wallpaper on my phone to Lucy, who's my new Basset Hound. She's right over there. You can't see her. You might hear her in a second. She might bark to let me know that she's tired and wants to go do something else now. I have to change that because defaults are what we go back to unless we purposely change it. Your mother, for good or bad, your parents, for good or bad, gave you some defaults, behaviors, attitudes that you learned from them for good or for bad. Now, for some of us, these are really good behaviors we learned. My mother, hi Mom, she's probably watching the video. She's a great reader. She reads more than anybody I know. And one of the things that I have learned to love is to read because she passed that on to me. But for some people that I love, well, the defaults that were passed on to them were not really good because their mothers were not good examples. Now, you can think you're doomed to that, but just like the wallpaper on my phone, it can be changed. But it's only changed when we think about it and we go, I don't want to be like that anymore. If your mother and your father, your parents, if they were wonderful examples and they gave you great defaults, that's a great thing that you get to pass on to others, both if you have biological children, them, if you have adopted children, them, or just those that are around you. You get to pass these on by living them out. Maybe they're the attributes of love, the verb that your parents passed on to you. But maybe your mom or your dad or those in your family passed on some bad defaults to you. And what I want to remind you is, you're not doomed to be like them. You get to choose to be different, but you have to choose. You have to take steps to not continue to pass down the heritage that you were given. But you can do that. You can set a new standard, a new default that people generations after you will be thankful for. My faith tells me that I should consider my ways. And what I want to encourage you to do today is to consider your ways. What defaults were you passed down by your family? Which of them are good and you want to continue? Which of them are bad and you want to get rid of them? Make choices now to get rid of them so that someone later on will be thankful for you. I would love to hear what it is you want to change and what it is you want to continue. My contact information is always at the end of these videos. And if you remember nothing else from this video, what I hope you remember is this. Our CEO, God cares for you, and so do I. And if you need some help changing the wallpaper on your phone, contact me. I'll show you how to do it, okay?